You. Yes, you. You want to learn how me and Jacob Bryson made a rocket and it flew like this? If you do, then stay tuned. Hello there, I am Jacob Sainosh.
Hi everyone. This year's science fair with Mr. Pugh in Group 25, my partner and I decided we wanted to build a model rocket. So as you guys all remember in class, Group 25 watched a movie called October Sky that was based on rockets. That movie was actually Jacob and I's inspiration for the science fair idea.
Okay, so for the build, we followed this diagram, and I used a plastic golf club protector for the body of the rocket. I made 3 prototypes. The first prototype had fins, but the fins were a bit too weak, so they kept ripping off or bending. The second prototype, the parachute was too weak, it kept ripping off. And the third prototype, the final one too, everything was good. The fins were strong, they weren't bending, and they were not ripping off. And then also the parachute did not rip off either. So I made my final product, my final rocket, and now it was time to test it. So to test it, I was going to make my homemade rocket engine, but there's 2 things wrong with that. So the main fuel of the rocket was potassium stump remover, but nitrogen is restricted or not allowed in Canada, I'm not sure. And there was gunpowder in it, and that's what was gonna explode and make the parachute come out. But the thing with that is that gunpowder is like totally legal in school. Yeah. So the smart brain that I am, sort of like thought, hey, matches light up, right? It makes fire, so why not take all the powder off of the matches and use that as a fuel? Yeah, genius idea. Made 2 engines. The first one had a lot of sugar, and the second one had less sugar, because we use sugar to drain out a lot of the oxygen, so that the fire burns a lot quicker and a lot hotter. So the rocket just like, so it has a lot more power. Story time that no one asked for. So yeah, I made the engines. I lock it into the rocket. Remind you, this is my proper rocket, and I'm doing this the day before we present. So if something goes wrong, I don't have an extra rocket to just use. Genius idea. So I screw it into the rocket. I light it on fire. Doesn't work the first time, so the 3rd time doesn't work, the 4th time, 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I tried like 10 times. So then we put a little cotton and rip it a cotton ball, put it in the hole for the rocket, and then put some gas on it. Works. First try, the rocket goes about 50 feet until it blows up. Yeah, I don't know where I went wrong. Just blew up. So I didn't test my second engine because I was afraid the same thing would happen. But yep. Anyways, so I'm kind of screwed now because I don't have a second rocket just lying around. Genius idea. So I had to use my prototype. Anyways, the day has come. Jacob and I are very, very, very hyped. We are presenting to some people. People are interested in it. They're a lot more interested with the guy with big calves, but who gives? Still, some people liked it. Anyways, it's the launch time. Everything is ready. So I stick it in, doesn't work, and I think it's like the 3rd or 4th time, and it finally works. The rocket goes pretty high. Mr. Fury said it was about 250 feet. And to me, that's a big win in my book. Even though we wanted 1,000 feet, it's still, just making it fly for me is a big deal. Anyways, now it's Jacob's turn.
What were the materials you used for this project?
Materials. Good question.
Good question, guys.
Good question.
Very good question.
So, for the materials of my... Why does Cameron look taller than me? So, for the materials of the rocket, for the nose cone, I used a champagne glass.
Champagne glass.
And like filed it so it was like really pointy.
File.
Yeah. So did Jacob St. Thomas. And then for the body of the rocket, what did I say before?
The shelf.
The shelf.
Yes.
Good. For the body of the rocket, I used a piece of shelf. Doesn't sound right.
The pole of a shelf.
The pole of a shelf. Okay. Sounds weird, but I did. Okay, plastic shelf. And then for the fins of the rocket, I used Bristol board.
Bristol board.
Bristol board.
Yes.
And then, what else did I use?
What else did he use?
The PVC pipe.
The PVC pipe, yeah. To screw in the engine of the...
How do you think the spectators reacted to your rocket launch?
Overall, it was a really good experience. As many people watched us at the bleachers. Sadly, my rocket didn't launch. I'm happy for Jacob, his did. I think it's because there was like no air circulation in my rocket. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty good launch. Yeah. I think I learned a lot from this project. Although science fair idea was pretty basic, I think we should all thank Simon for coming up with the science fair idea.
Rockets.
Okay, they have.
Oh shit! Ah!
I don't see it.
Uh-oh.